Let us see how to work on date slicers in Power BI. Date slicers are required for everyone. These are the most important slices. I can see. Let us see how to create. I'll click on this slicer button and try to pick up any date data type. Date field, that is, order date. When I drag and drop, you see what happens. I'll be getting a date in MMDDYY format. Okay, that's a format here, and I can scroll and filter the dates. But to scroll, let me just create some table over here. I'll click on this table, put here order date, and I'll put sales here. So I can resize it here and I can show you what the values are going on. So that's order date, sales on the right hand side, and that's a slicer or a filler I've created, interactive filters. Now I can just select the minimum date from here and I can select the maximum date from here. Okay, so I can filter those based on exact dates, MMDDYY. So this would be between the dates minimum to maximum and give me all the dates between. So please observe here, we have the date starting from 18th of April 2017. Okay, you can see 18th of April 2017, and maximum date is 21st of December 2017, which will be at the bottom. So you can filter quickly. Now, if you don't want, you can click on this clear filter. That's very easy. And if you want, you can just click on this drop down, and these are the different options you can play. These are like cosmetic options. This one is selected between. That means between minimum, maximum. If you select the option before, the first box will get disabled. You see, this first box will get disabled. Only the second box is enabled. Here, there's also one thing which I didn't tell you. You can click on that box inside and a calendar would appear where it is very easy for you to navigate to that date particularly. So I can just click on that December and select July. I can click on 2019 and select the option 2018 and select some day from here. So this will get filtered. Or the other method is you can also manually type as 22 2019 enter. That is also one method. So in this dropdown, before is there, after is there. List, if I click on this list button, I'll be getting list of all the dates in that slicer, in that data set. So manually, I can use a checkbox or using Control plus click, I can select the values here. Okay, I don't think that this would be required. Not many people would be using this. There's the other option as dropdown. I can select the dropdown and I can select only whichever dates I want. So using this dropdown, you can save a lot of space. Okay, you can save this lot of space here. So again, I'll click on that small dropdown and there's a relative date option. Relative date is, again, very important. Suppose if I want to see the data only for last 2 years. So I can click on this last type 2, and from this dropdown, I can select this years option. So if you have seen my video on filters, you'll understand these filters and cards. I've taken this topic there. So I'll select the option years from here, and you can see last 2 years. So the data is starting from 2018. I'm recording the video on June 2020, and so it's showing us 2 years back, June 2018. So not only these 2 years, you can also select month, quarter, weeks, days. Many options are there. And not only last, but the next year and this year, this one, this quarter. You can select the option, and that's a very simple filter over here. Now, I'll just remove that filter and I'll move it aside. There's one more type of filter which should be required. I'll just create one more slicer here, and in this slicer, I'll put the same fields, which is order date, into that box. So when I drag and drop, the date format is MMDDYY format. Suppose you only want either year, quarter, or month. You can click on this drop down, and there is an option, date hierarchy. So you can select this date hierarchy option, and here, if you see 2016, 17, 18, 19, all the dates, all the years will be visible. So you can keep on expanding inside. 2016, if you want quarter one, you can select quarter one here. Inside quarter one, if you want some specific month, you can select January. Okay, that's very simple to filter using the hierarchy option. So the method was we clicked on this drop down and selected date hierarchy. So by default, it would be order by. Okay, so that's it. I hope you've understood how to create slices for date.